In the fall of 2021, my wife and I got into a terrible argument. She called me a name I won't repeat, but it's one that hurts to this day. At that moment, I lost control completely. I was filled with rage. My brain stopped working. I wasn't able to form a single coherent thought. I just sat there, mute and defenseless. I was literally shaking with rage. I yelled back at her some sort of childish insult intended to hurt her like she had hurt me. I remember us screaming at each other, and I felt we had just built the Berlin Wall between us. That argument took a real toll on our relationship. I'm still embarrassed every time I recall that memory. I vowed that this would be the last time we fought ugly like that, so I dove deep into psychology and why people fight ugly. Fast forward to today. We argue, but constructively, nicely even. If you've ever been attacked during an argument, and you've been backed into a corner, you need to hear how to defend yourself and diffuse the situation. In this video, I'm going to give you 3 psychological tricks to defend yourself in any argument. But first, here's how most arguments go. Like ours, most are hurtful and non-productive. In the movie The Breakup, Vince Vaughn and Jennifer Aniston get into a heated argument about household chores that quickly escalates with name-calling, yelling, and accusations, to the point of Jennifer Aniston's character walking out. But there's a way to defend yourself in an argument without escalating it. I'm going to teach you how to become a Zen master when it comes to arguments. Here's rule number 1 if someone attacks you during an argument. Don't get defensive. How do you do this when you've just been attacked? Simply say nothing. In The Lincoln Lawyer, Matthew McConaughey's character, Mickey Holler, has the perfect response to a verbal attack by a cop: stony silence.
I guess once they plead guilty and go down, you don't have much use for them, huh?
He only comes back with a retort half a minute or so later when he's had a chance to compose himself. Just because someone lashes out doesn't mean you have to respond immediately. Give yourself time to think. Pause and collect yourself before you respond. If you even respond, because not all attacks are worth a response. It's natural to want to rush to your own defense, but don't. If you react immediately, you look defensive, and you give the other person power over you by showing them that what they said upset you. This will only fuel their fire. Don't throw gasoline on the fire. When voices get louder and shriller, become quieter. So, shh. Allow the chemical cocktail of strong emotions to pass through your body before you act on them. Take a couple of deep breaths and count to 10. Don't speak until your blood pressure has come back down to earth. If you respond to the attack, do it slowly and calmly. They attacked you out of frustration, but you don't have to respond the same way. Bring calm to the situation, because nothing is going to be solved if you're both hot. If you react impulsively and emotionally, you're just escalating the situation. Okay, so step 1 is to get full mastery of yourself before you respond, and you can simply do this by saying nothing. That's the hardest part. What comes next will diffuse the situation with Zen-level psychology. Step 2 is to put the focus on them.
I'm confused.
Didn't someone just throw a Molotov cocktail of stuff you don't want to hear at you, and now you're supposed to not defend yourself? Correct. In this Lincoln Lawyer clip, a motorcycle gang is following the car carrying Matthew McConaughey's Mickey Holler. The driver asks, "Hey boss, want me to do something about that?" Holler replies, "Nah, just keep doing what you're doing." He lets a few moments pass while he calmly considers his next move, which is to pull over and let the motorcycle gang leader speak. Let them talk. Let them vent, growl, hiss, scream, or have a tantrum while you maintain Zen-like calm. Even if you're seething inside, say nothing. In fact, engage in the conversation non-verbally. Show them that you're actively listening by tilting your head toward them, making eye contact, and nodding. This little bit of body language immediately puts people at ease. Let them finish without interrupting. Take your ego out of it, because it's not about who's right or who's wrong. It's about everyone being heard. That's right, everyone deserves to be heard, even if you don't like what they're saying. In this Lincoln Lawyer clip, Mickey Holler is asked by his daughter, the person who killed Mom's witness, "Would you defend them?" To which he replies, "Everyone deserves a defense, Haley." That means even if you don't like what they have to say, even if they're wrong, and even if what they say is pretty awful, everyone deserves to be heard. Letting them speak takes the focus off yourself. Like a Qigong master, you've just deflected the attacker's energy without having to defend yourself. because you chose to simply listen. Here's another example of what not to do.
Stop thinking about what I want, what he wants, what your parents want. What do you want?
It's not that simple.
What do you want?
There's a lot of back and forth between the two characters, a lot of emotion, but even at the end, when he's actually giving her a chance to tell him why she's leaving, he's trying to force her to answer instead of allowing her to answer calmly, and this creates more resentment. He's attacking her and not giving her a chance to speak. If you're in her position and the other person won't let you speak, just remember there's probably nothing you can say that's right or pleasing anyway, so let them talk and get it all out. Focus on them, not on your bruised ego. Don't interrupt, don't name call, don't correct them, and don't share your argument, even if the other person is saying things that aren't true. It won't help to correct them. It won't help to share your side of things right now. Let them be heard, just as you would like to be heard. You know how annoying it is to be interrupted, corrected, and told you're wrong. No matter how they attack you, just listen. You'll see that simply by listening, most of the personal attacks will subside. As a bonus, letting them talk gives you a chance to get control of your own emotions. Let them finish and then pause, compose yourself, and say something like, "Wow, I never looked at it like that." Validate their feelings with, "I can see how this makes you feel upset." Step 2 makes you look like a pretty awesome person because you're taking the time to understand their point of view and you're validating their feelings. See, when people feel heard, they often stop attacking. Okay, you've diffused the situation by not reacting impulsively and by allowing them to speak. You've mastered 2 steps of defending yourself in an argument by not defending yourself. This is Zen Master level stuff. Let's level it up one more step. Here's where you can totally change their perspective of you, still without even sharing your side of the argument. Keep the focus on them by asking open-ended questions and encourage them to keep speaking. Ask, "How so?" Ask them to explain and elaborate. Encourage them by saying, "Go on." Not only will they feel that you fully understand their side of the argument, you will subtly put yourself on the offensive. They can't keep attacking now because the number one thing in their head was for you to listen to them and acknowledge them. And you did that. Go you! By encouraging them to talk and asking questions, you have let them defend their argument. Now you're demonstrating that you understand their point of view. There's one last component of this. Once they've finished speaking, don't immediately jump in with your version of things. Then you're just defending yourself at the risk of escalating the argument again.
No, shut up!
Confirm that you have heard them. Say, "Here's my understanding of what you just said," and repeat to them what you heard. Now that they've shared their thoughts, focus on common ground. This will diffuse the attack even more and keep the focus off you. You got attacked, but jumping in with your version can be seen as a threat, like you're trying to unravel their whole worldview by telling them that they're wrong and you're right. Even if they're trying to unravel your worldview, you can let them share their perspective without changing your mind. How do you do this? Use yes and statements instead of yes but statements. Never use yes but statements because they negate everything that comes before them. If you say, "I'm sorry you felt I wasn't doing my part, but," then you're right back on the defensive and the spotlight is on you. If you say, "I'm sorry you felt I wasn't doing my part, and I'd like your input on what I can do to be more of a team player," you're asking for their input, and at the same time, you're not avoiding responsibility for your part of the problem. And now, oh, this is such a cool trick. You've totally made the argument not about you. You've deflected the hostility. You don't even have to defend yourself. You've just acquired an argument superpower. While you're taking the focus off yourself and putting it on them, you're also making them feel good because you are making the effort to hear them. Oh, now everybody has the warm fuzzies. Another way to cool an argument is demonstrated in the movie Purple Hearts. Cassie and Luke are fighting, and because it's a fight in public with all of their friends watching, Luke makes an unexpected move. He pulls Cassie close and starts talking to her softly. It may have been for the sake of the audience, but it works in diffusing the situation instead of letting it escalate. The ability to diffuse a situation and let the other person speak makes you pretty awesome. Wouldn't you agree? Wouldn't you love it if other people let you speak without fighting back? Even if they're boiling mad at you, at some level, they will appreciate that you took the time to listen. If you're wrong, okay, show them that you're brave enough to admit you're wrong. Even if you genuinely didn't mean to do something that was hurtful or offensive, apologize anyway. Again, you are validating their point of view and their feelings. For example, you can say something like, "I'm sorry I shared that meme on Facebook. I didn't realize it came across as racist. I really appreciate you pointing that out to me." Just don't do it like Derek in the movie Obsessed, where he admits he was wrong and then follows his admission of guilt with a but statement.
Was wrong. I should have told you the truth from the beginning, but
You should have.
That's going on the defensive. Admit you're wrong, period. Full stop. If you're not wrong, okay. Show them that you're compassionate enough to let them voice their thoughts and wise enough to disagree without starting World War III. As you can see, you can get out of that corner you've been backed into without escalating the argument. And you've made them feel good. Be still and let them speak. Acknowledge their point of view and validate their feelings. Focus on common ground and discuss how you can get through this together. And not once did you have to defend yourself. I hope this has been useful for you. Please like and subscribe for more content like this to help you hack human relationships.